Let me start by acknowledging the Coast Salish people on whose traditional territory we're gathered this morning. And I'd now like to invite Ms. Selena Gabriel. She's a fourth-year English major in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences to lead us in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well done. Congratulations.
Please be seated. I now declare the June 2014 Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduates, and friends. I'm Carol Taylor, Chancellor of this university, and this is our 49th Convocation, and we're so happy you could all join us today. Special guests on our platform today include members of the Board of Governors, Ms. Fiona Robin and Dr. Peter Rudin. We're also joined by a delegation from Zhejiang University, and I have to say that SFU and Zhejiang University offer a very unique dual degree program, and we're especially happy to offer them a warm welcome to Convocation. So welcome to you all. It really has been one of the great pleasures of being Chancellor to look out on graduating classes and see so much talent and hope and possibility, and I'm sure a bit of anxiety. But I can't help but think, when I look in your faces, of all the possible paths you might choose. So here's my hope. There's such a desperate need for leadership in our society, and I would say in every single area that your studies represent, that I must believe this leadership is going to come from you. But it won't be easy. So when I talk about leadership, it's based entirely on personal observation over many years and many different professions. For me, leadership is not about the position. It's not about that little plaque that says CEO or president or prime minister. I think we can all cite examples where genuine leadership is shockingly absent. No, it's not about the position, but it is about the individual. I encourage you right now, just take a second and think about one person that you believe embodies true leadership, whether it's in business or politics, the arts, your classes. Now, what makes that individual exceptional? To me, there are at least three essential characteristics. First of all, a leader must have strength, the courage of her convictions, or his. It's just not possible to be a true leader of people, of ideas, without the courage to stand tall when others try to discourage you or tell you you're wrong. And believe me, there always will be naysayers. But leadership is not for the faint of heart. You must dig deep down inside and really believe. Second, it helps to be a bit of a contrarian, an original thinker, someone willing to question the way things have always been done, because true leaders are rarely leaders of the status quo. We call those folks managers. Thirdly, you cannot, by definition, be a leader without followers. And I have made that mistake, thinking I had a brilliant idea, I was keen, let's go, only to turn around and realize that no one was with me. And in that case, a brilliant idea becomes rapidly a useless idea because it's never going to happen. You have to take the time to incubate an idea, nurture a team, develop buy-in. In other words, you have to inspire others to follow your lead. I believe each one of you here today, every one of you, has this opportunity to be a leader in your own field, in your own way, but it is what SFU has prepared you for. So today, on this first day of the rest of your life, I encourage you, become all that you know that you can be. Become a leader. Vous êtes prête. I now call upon the President of SFU, Professor Andrew Petter.
Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, but most especially graduands and friends. It's my privilege to preside at this celebration of your success, this culminating event of your education at Simon Fraser University. And it's my pleasure to welcome those who have come to help you celebrate, your parents, family members, and friends, for whom this occasion is as special as it is for you. I'd also like to join with the Chancellor in welcoming the delegation that has joined us today from Zhejiang University in Hangzhou. Zhejiang is ranked amongst China's top universities, and it's been our great honor for the past decade to offer a dual degree program in collaboration with Zhejiang. This is a program in computing science that brings Canadian and Chinese students together for an intercultural experience, as well as one that focuses on education relating to computing science. The program has won numerous awards in both Canada and China, and we are very proud of that association. It's a wonderful example of SFU's commitment to providing educational opportunities that are practical, theoretical, outward-looking, and engaged, and that will be relevant long into the future. In that regard, I'd like to speak to you today about the wisdom of someone who, though not a philosopher in the traditional sense, is renowned for his pearls of inadvertent wisdom. I'm speaking of famed New York Yankees manager and catcher Yogi Berra. Yogi, who's still very much with us, by the way, offered many memorable insights over the years, such as, "A nickel ain't worth a dime anymore," or, "When you come to a fork in the road, take it," or my personal favorite, "Always go to other people's funerals, otherwise they won't come to yours." Now, Yogi said something that I think is particularly relevant to this year's graduating class. "The future," said Yogi, "ain't what it used to be." Like many yogiisms, there's a deeper truth to be found within this saying. The future ain't what it used to be. What Yogi is trying to tell us, I believe, is that the world is changing in ways that are new and difficult to predict. And that can be a scary prospect, or it can be a source of tremendous opportunity. It really depends upon whether one has what it takes to see the potential offered by change and to then seize it. Consider Xerox, the documents company. In the 1970s, Xerox was at the cutting edge of computer innovation. One of the most innovative things Xerox developed was called the WIMP. That's an acronym that stood for Window Icon Menu Pointing Device. The pointing device, is what we now refer to as a mouse. But Xerox at the time wasn't looking to the future. Its executives held to the view that they were running a printing and photocopying business. So they wimped out. They gave their innovation away to some upstart by the name of Steve Jobs, in return for which Jobs let Xerox invest $1 million in a company called Apple. Well, Xerox has survived, but its future, in Yogi's words, ain't what it used to be. Its current market capitalization is $14 billion. Not bad, but Apple's is $529 billion. The lesson here is that while we live in today's world, we must prepare for a future that will be almost unrecognizable. The businesses of yesterday, the photo development stores, the video rental outlets, they're gone. They evaporated in a Kodak moment or collapsed in a blockbuster fashion. This can be worrying for people trying to find their way into the job market. Things are changing at a remarkable pace. Indeed, it's fair to say that change is the only thing that we can guarantee will not change. And while futurists may strive to make good guesses about the jobs of tomorrow, there's no courses to teach you the necessary skills. Or perhaps there are. Perhaps you have already taken some of them. Journalist and author Fareed Zakaria makes a good case in this regard. In our skills-obsessed world, says Zakaria, there's no substitute for the advantage you receive from studying at a university that values the liberal arts. Depending on your discipline, you pick up a certain amount of specific knowledge and skills, but more importantly, Zakaria argues, you also learn how to write, how to speak, how to think, and most critically, how to learn. So if the coding language changes 3 times in the 10 years after you become a computer engineer, you'll be equipped to adapt to those changes. If you're a business graduate working in a sector that collapses, you'll be able to adjust and shift successfully to a different sector. And if you've been schooled in philosophy or economics and the world takes an unanticipated turn, well, you might be one of the first to figure out what's really going on and to help chart a new course for the future. Canada's employment numbers provide strong support for Zakaria's analysis. In the past decade of incredible change, including the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression, university graduates continued to enjoy success in the labor market, while those who only had high school credentials languished. In the 5 years from 2008 to 2013, jobs for university graduates increased by 810,000, while jobs for those without post-secondary education decreased by over 500,000. The benefits of the liberal arts has also been noted in the rest of the world. Institutions across Asia, for example, have begun to introduce liberal arts courses and programs to add balance to what have been overly focused skills programs that are focused on skills but don't provide the teaching and learning capability of the liberal arts. SFU, I hope you have discovered, has been working hard to find that balance. We've endeavored to inculcate the critical thinking, the problem solving, the research skills that will enable you to be employable, adaptable, global citizens. And we've tried to inculcate those throughout the program. Regardless of your program of study, we required you to hone your writing and quantitative abilities and to gain interdisciplinary breadth. We've also provided you with opportunities for experiential learning to gain workplace skills and civic understanding. But I hope you also leave SFU with a sense of your own capacity, your own responsibility to change the world, even as the world itself changes. Just as we've encouraged you to be engaged students, I hope that you will become engaged citizens, committed to making the world a better place. It is, in a profound way, your world now. In closing, I want to thank you for choosing SFU, for inspiring your professors and your colleagues, and yes, for engaging. And thanks also to your parents, your extended family, your friends and mentors, all those who've helped you to this day. Your success is their success. And finally, while you will soon have your degree, your education inevitably remains unfinished. You're alumni now. I hope you will cherish that status and come back often as your educational needs require or just to stay in touch. I want you to know that we at SFU will always be here for you. Congratulations to you all. Madam Chancellor, a member of the SFU faculty will address the graduates as part of today's ceremony. Dr. Wendy Palin is an assistant professor in the Department of Biological Sciences. Since arriving at SFU from the University of California, Berkeley in 2007, her research is focused on identifying science-based solutions for the conservation of freshwater ecosystems in British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest. At SFU, she has helped to found the Earth to Ocean Research Group, as well as the Liber Aero postdoctoral fellowship program, for which she serves as assistant director. It is with great pleasure that I now call on our faculty speaker, Dr. Palin, for her convocation address. Dr. Palin.
Thank you, Madam Chancellor and President Petter. Honored guests, and to you, the graduating class of 2014, I'm tremendously honored to be your commencement speaker. I want to first share a personal story and then issue you a call to arms that I hope is more inspirational than depressing, but you all will be the judge of that. The personal story. It would be easy to think that as a professor, that because we're surrounded by it so often, that graduation in any form might become less meaningful, that we might get jaded by all the pomp and circumstance. But I remember my undergraduate commencement, and I can tell you that it was a tremendously important time in my life. But I remember not one thing from the speech that was given by the American politician who spoke at my graduation. I realize that doesn't bode well for the impact my speech will have on you, but it's also a little freeing that the bar is set so low. What was meaningful from my graduation was that as I sat there waiting to get my degree, just as you are now, I remember being excited. I felt good about finishing something that I was proud of. But beyond that ceremony, I didn't have it all figured out. I didn't know if I was going to be successful by any standard measure. I left shortly after graduation to do field research that summer that was pretty solitary, exploring hundreds of small streams, sampling trout and salamanders and crayfish, and getting lost on the back roads of the southern Appalachian Mountains. I worked in outdoor education for a few years after that, which was really a sneaky way of letting my parents down easily that I was really a ski bum, a rock climber, a wanderer, and getting paid next to nothing to do it and loving almost every minute of it. But within a couple of years, I realized that I had more to offer the world than a perfectly carved turn, or encouragement for those afraid of heights to conquer their fears. The lesson, looking back now, is that I needed to wander. I needed to live in a broader world to be able to define my place in it. So my hope for you is that in addition to feeling a deep sense of accomplishment today, that in the coming days, weeks, maybe even years, you will also give yourselves the freedom to wander, to follow your curiosity and your heart, and trust that you will be better off for it. Trust that you don't need to have it all figured out today. Now for the call to arms. Well, as President Petter said in his introduction, I'm a conservation biologist, and that means I've found my way from the wandering to devoting my career, my life, to trying to solve no less than one of the hardest, most intractable, and daunting problems we have ever faced as a society. Over the last century, we've come to dominate and exploit almost all of our planet's natural resources. In oversimplified terms, it's like a little bit like running up your credit card to several times its limit with no real plan to pay it back. And unfortunately, for the problems I'm talking about, there are no parents to help bail you out. We now live on a planet that is overcrowded and increasingly hot, with disparities in wealth and standards of living that just keep getting bigger. The consequences for humanity are staggering, frightening even. During the span of your professional lives, the effects of climate change will touch more and more of us, and on a more personal level. And the data tell us that those communities who will suffer the most are exactly those that have the fewest resources to cope with the effects. No previous generation, mine included, has been able to solve this problem. And 50 years after the dawn of the modern environmental movement, we've made little progress. But this is what you are being handed, and soon it will be your responsibility. These problems will be solved, or not, on your watch. Given that backdrop, it would be easy to assume that there is little reason for hope. But I don't believe that, and I don't think you should either. There are untold thousands, millions even, of people working for nonprofits, non-governmental and charitable organizations around the globe, all working for solutions big and small. So I think you should be audacious and not let the daunting odds discourage you. I looked up the definition of that word, audacious, a couple of days ago. I bet many of you will know one or more of the definitions, perhaps thanks in part to your SFU degree and the breadth requirements you've all now met. Intrepidly daring, recklessly bold, contemptuous of law, religion, or decorum, marked by originality and verve. It sounds pretty good, I think. Something to aspire to. I want to share with you a quote by Paul Hawken, an American entrepreneur and out-of-the-box, audacious thinker. It's from a speech where he too was trying to balance the reality of the daunting challenges we face as a society with the real hope and optimism that we need to channel if we're going to have any chance of success. When asked if I am pessimistic or optimistic about the future, my answer is always the same. If you look at the science about what's happening on Earth and aren't pessimistic, you don't understand the data. But if you meet the people who are working to restore this Earth and the lives of the poor, and you aren't optimistic, you don't have a pulse. Class of 2014, I encourage you to use your skills as scientists to understand the data and be a spokesperson for the power that science holds to affect great change in the world around us. Engage with family, friends, and most especially those who don't share in the luxury of your level of education or the good fortune of living in a wealthy and privileged country. But I also encourage you to use your skills as human beings to help make life better for those around you by contributing your time, your energy, your brilliance to these problems that matter to real people. We need you. The world needs you. And especially these big, seemingly unsolvable problems need you to be audacious. Dare to be exceptional and join us. You have my deepest congratulations, and I wish you the greatest luck in your journeys. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Palin. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of the ceremony, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we're pleased that the symbolic presentation will launch you on your new role as alumni of Simon Fraser University. Mr. Bernie Maroney holds a Master of Business Administration, is a former president of SFU's Alumni Association Board of Directors, and teaches in the Beatty School of Business. I invite Mr. Maroney to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduates. Bernie.
Thank you, President Petter, Chancellor Taylor. It is my privilege and pleasure to congratulate you for your graduation and to welcome you as the newest members of the SFU Alumni Association, a global community of more than 130,000 graduates in more than 100 countries. To learn more about the accomplishments and the inspiring community of alumni you are joining, I invite you to visit the Alumni Appreciation Project, which you'll see featured in the back of your Convocation program. I encourage you to remember and rely upon the connections that you have made here at SFU. Your fellow alumni can be your most powerful and diverse network. We are your community, your colleagues, and it is in all of our best interests to help each other succeed. Attend our events, join the online alumni directory, and stay connected through our social media channels. The Alumni Association is here to serve your needs and interests with relevant benefits and services. For example, to proudly display your brand new degree or certificate, I would like for you to visit the Leader Frames booth in the tent right over there. to get customized degree frames. Not the bookstore over here. Go to the tent over there. A portion of the sales of those go to fund alumni programs such as scholarships for undergraduate students that many of you sitting here today received. I invite you to learn more about the alumni privileges that you have qualified for in the brochure that you'll find in the degree folder. As you cross the stage today, I will be presenting you with an alumni pin as a symbol of your achievement and your alumni status. Wherever life takes you in the future, we hope that you will keep the SFU spirit alive and that you'll stay connected to your university and your fellow alumni. SFU has alumni all over the world. You will never be alone. I know, and we all know, the anxieties that you face when you graduate from university. Take this opportunity to explore, to find your passion, to discover what will truly engage you. This is what SFU has prepared you to do. I would not recommend that you rush into some job which you may not like, which is what I did, or where you may not find your calling. This is the very best time for you to discover your passion, to travel, to experience new people and new environments which will provide you motivation. It may be frightening, but you are prepared to do so. This is the path that was chosen by many esteemed people: Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, SFU alumni like Sean Smith, Douglas Copeland, and John Maida, who will receive an honorary doctorate from SFU this Friday. After all, Simon Fraser was an explorer. Parents, encourage them to explore, to chase their dreams. We wish we could have done so, but the world was different when we were their age. Now it is their time to learn, to discover, to choose. They may very well make better choices than we did, and hopefully they will change our world for the better. To misquote Robert Frost, take the path less traveled by, and that will make all the difference. Congratulations. Go change the world, engage the world, make us proud, and most importantly, make yourselves proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Ms. Eleanor Lee, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. During her time at Simon Fraser University, Eleanor has been named the SFU Co-op Student of the Year and one of Vancouver's top 24 under 24. She has been president of the Women in Engineering Group, providing mentorship for other engineering students, as well as co-founded the multi-university academic British Columbia Women in Engineering collaboration. Through the encouragement of her peers, she began her own company, which won SFU's first Next Top Product competition in 2013, and her products are now available at SFU bookstores. Eleanor will be pursuing a career with Microsoft after graduation, and she'll be graduating with a Bachelor of Applied Sciences honors degree with a communications minor. It's now my great pleasure to call upon the student speaker, Eleanor Lee. Eleanor?
Mr. President, Madam Chancellor, faculty, staff, friends and family, guests, and graduates, here we each are on a day we've anticipated throughout our university career. This is a moment that we have waited for. This is a moment that we've dreamt of. And even though this moment will pass, I pray that all the details of the day, the way the tassels fly in the wind, the beaming smiles of everyone who's come to celebrate with you, your diploma in your hand, I pray those details stay with you for the rest of your life, because this is a milestone to be proud of. As I look over my time at SFU, my degree, my extracurricular involvements, those I have learned from, and those I have mentored, I realize that my experiences come back to the same concept over and over again. Today, I'd like to share with you some of the best advice I've ever gotten. It is yet to fail me. And it is this: that the world belongs to those who show up. So much of what I have would not be possible if I hadn't taken a chance with full force enthusiasm, if I hadn't said yes to the unknown, if I hadn't done something that scared me. If I hadn't started knitting at my aunt's house all those years ago, I probably wouldn't have started a knitting business. And if I hadn't got involved with one of the business groups here at SFU, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to have my products in the SFU bookstore. And if I had driven out to Burnaby from my little old hometown to speak face-to-face to an SFU recruiter, I wouldn't be standing here right now. I realized that if I hadn't played Pictionary at the Women in Engineering lunch on my first day, I probably wouldn't have become president. And if that hadn't happened, then my opportunity at Microsoft may not have happened. If I hadn't shown up, where would I be right now? As Dr. Roberta Bondar, the first female astronaut in space, stated at a conference I was recently at, you make your own luck. The more paths you try, the more doors you'll find, and the more opportunities you'll receive. So I call you to step into the world and show up, dear graduates, not just with your degree, but with your passion. Because passion's no longer a cliche. It's the new adrenaline rush that won't let you crash. There's an alarming statistic out there that says that 80% of people in the workforce don't enjoy their work. During my time at SFU, I was led to a TED Talk that changed my life. His name was Scott Dinsmore, and he spoke on finding and doing work that you love. As he encouraged me, I encourage you to find the work you can't not do. Imagine if the world out there had 80% of people who loved what they did. That's the kind of world that can make a difference. That world will be ours. And if you feel you're ordinary, too small to fill the big shoes of such a big dream, I am here to tell you that the ordinary people are the ones that do the extraordinary. All you have to do is do the things that matter to you, and you will inspire people to do the things that matter to them. Don't ever feel like your dream is ridiculous. You're talking to the girl that started a knitting business. Search your soul, find that dream, and show up, because the world belongs to those who show up. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Eleanor. Thanks for showing up at Simon Fraser University and for delivering such an inspiring address today. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Pretty good-looking group, don't you think? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and request that you confer upon each one the degree for which she or he is now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Will the graduates please be seated?
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor. But first, a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to doctoral degrees, and obviously we can't and frankly don't want to forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. Would the graduates please return to your seats following receipt of your degrees? With that, the degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences and the Faculty of Science will now be conferred. Madam Chancellor, the Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Wade Parkhouse, will announce the names of the students earning graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Namal Rajapakse, Dean of the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence, Dr. Mehdi Sefi. Unfortunately, he is unable to attend, but we congratulate him on his outstanding achievement. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the remaining graduates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Namal Rajapakse with the assistance of Dr. Tim Rahili, Associate Vice President, Students. Dr. Omar Trad. Dr. Trad completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and his supervisor is Dr. Samia Mufadat.
Congratulations, Doctor.
Dr. Sayed Amin Hijazi. Dr. Hijazi completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and his supervisor was Dr. Sean Stapleton. Dr. Navid Amani. Dr. Amani completed his doctorate in the School of Computing Science, and his supervisor was Dr. Kwai Peng Gu. Dr. Yifan Jian. Dr. Yan completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and his supervisor was Dr. Marinko Sarunik. Dr. Tian Lan. Dr. Lan completed his doctorate in the School of Computing Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Greg Morey. Dr. Hatio Lee. Dr. Lee completed his doctorate in the School of Computing Science, and his senior supervisor was Zhengkang Liu. Dr. Milan Mosny. Dr. Mosny also completed his doctorate in computing science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Brian Funt. Dr. Ali Ostafar. Dr. Ostafar completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and his supervisor was Dr. Andrew Rowitz. Dr. Mehrdad Ovesi. Dr. Ovesi completed his doctorate in computing science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Jim Del Grande. Hi. Dr. Majid Razmera. Dr. Razmera completed his doctorate in computing science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Fred Popovich. Dr. Shahab Tassafori. Dr. Tassafori completed his doctorate in computing science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Evgeny Ternovska. Dr. Vahid Sakari. Dr. Sakari completed his doctorate in mechatronic systems engineering, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Simyak Azapor. Dr. Yan Zhang. Dr. Zhang completed his doctorate in the School of Engineering Science, and Dr. Bozena Kaminska was his senior supervisor. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence, the Faculty of Science, Dr. Omid Salzday. Unfortunately, Dr. Salzday is unable to be present today, but we congratulate him on his outstanding achievement. I will now present the remaining graduates. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Claire Couples, and Dr. Tim Rahilly the Associate Vice President students will assist. Dr. Muhammad Ashrad. Dr. Ashrad completed his doctorate in the Department of Biological Sciences, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Jim Matson. Dr. Adrian Belshaw. Dr. Belshaw completed his doctorate in the Department of Mathematics, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Peter Borwine. Dr. Lydia Cheng. Dr. Cheng completed her doctorate in the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Andrew Bennett. Dr. Oksana Cherbekti. Dr. Cherbekti completed her doctorate in the Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science, and her senior supervisor was Dr. David Campbell. Dr. Wo Choi. Dr. Choi completed his doctorate in the Department of Biomedical Physiology and Kinesiology, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Steve Rabinovich. Dr. Alexander Chubati. Dr. Chubati completed his doctorate in the Department of Biological Sciences, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Bernie Reutberg. Dr. Heidi Currier. Dr. Currier completed her doctorate in the Department of Biological Sciences, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Tony Williams. Dr. Fu Quang Gao. Dr. Gao completed his doctorate in the Department of Earth Sciences, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Douglas Said. Dr. Philippe Giovanelli. Dr. Giovanelli completed his doctorate in the Department of Biomedical and Physiology, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Diane Finegood. Dr. Shirin Golchi. Dr. Golchi completed her doctorate in the Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Richard Lockhart. Dr. Graham Halson. Dr. Halson completed his doctorate in the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Barry Honda. Dr. Marit Heidemann. Dr. Heidemann completed her doctorate in the Department of Earth Sciences, and her senior supervisor was Dr. John Clegg. Dr. Laura Hilton. Dr. Hilton completed her doctorate in the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Lynn Cornby. Dr. Sarmaida Mujumder. Dr. Mujumder completed her doctorate in the Department of Physics, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Karen Kavanaugh. Dr. Sweta Mohan. Dr. Mohan completed her doctorate in the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Michelle LaRue. Dr. Heather Moore. Dr. Moore completed her doctorate in the Department of Biomedical Physiology and Kinesiology, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Max Donnellan. Dr. Payam Musavi. Dr. Musavi completed his doctorate in the Department of Physics, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Steve Dodge. Dr. Tai Pyong On Nugent. Dr. Nugent completed her doctorate in the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Michelle LaRue. Dr. Fatima Ratsama Rouhani. Dr. Ranani completed her doctorate in the Department of Physics, and her senior supervisor was Dr. George Kurtznow. Dr. Saeed Sabri Modaber. Dr. Modaber completed his doctorate in the Department of Physics, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Eldon Emberley. Dr. Marjan Shayagan. Dr. Shayagan completed her doctorate in the Department of Chemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Nancy Ford. Dr. Fanima Shimadasavi. Dr. Shimadasavi completed her doctorate in the Department of Chemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Andrew Bennett. Dr. Andrei Spanchulescu. Dr. Spanchulescu completed her doctorate in the Department of Chemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Neil Branda. Dr. Reed Staples. Dr. Staples completed his doctorate in the Department of Earth Sciences, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Harold Gibson. Dr. Will Stein. Dr. Stein completed his doctorate in the Department of Biological Sciences, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Arnie Moores. Dr. Shane Sun. Dr. Sun completed his doctorate in the Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Richard Lockhart. Dr. Sharan Swarup. Dr. Swarup completed his doctorate in the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry. Senior supervisor was Dr. Esther Verheyden. Dr. Michael Wang. Dr. Wang completed his doctorate in the Department of Chemistry. Senior supervisor was Dr. Byron Gates. Dr. Andrea Wolter. Dr. Wolter completed her doctorate in the Department of Earth Sciences, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Douglas Stead. Dr. Amy Yang. Dr. Yang completed her doctorate in the Department of Chemistry, and her senior supervisor was Dr. Steve Holdcroft. Dr. Yabing Zhang. Dr. Zhang completed his doctorate in the Department of Earth Sciences, and his senior supervisor was Dr. Douglas Stead. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Safar Atarachi. Gaspari Boscarino. Michelle Chua. Ken Devoti Rod. Songlin Lee. Xiao Lu. Lucas Karim Mary. Said Harduli. Arash Tafasoli. Shima Zadimar. Jijun Zhang. Howard Chang. Yato Wu. Faraz Afghani. Hind Al-Shreed. Arun Barujwa. Jun Gan. Tin Yun Hee. Anna Miwart. Sarah Nazmi Agani Ziev. Mud Rahan. Xiaoyun Yu. Mingjing Zhang. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Science. Leslie Saunders. Yasmin Nuruzi. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of recognizing the recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Ms. Amy Weeb, unfortunately, is unable to be present today. We congratulate Ms. Weeb on her outstanding achievement. I will now present the remaining graduates for master's degrees in the Faculty of Science. Lindsay Button. Sharon Chong. Joanna Chernesky. Jared Foth. Karina Favaro. Jolene Hermanson. Priya Ayawarmia. Cobra Hazi. Jonathan Lee. Cindy Lee. Sharuli Lee. Timothy Lowe. Lara Luffrey. Patricia McQueen. Krishna Teja Mahaldi. Layla Mutsasamy. Adam Montgomery. Stephen Newman. Sheishen Shen. Kuyan Wang. Siyu Wang. Ting Ting Wen. Sean Wong.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Applied Sciences, Dr. Namal Rajapaksa, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Mohammed Aklagi, Jordan Angelo, Peter Ano, Cheyenne Azi Bagay, Andy Back, Shagan Bian, Jordan Breyer, John Buonasisi, Lily Kao, Ringo Chan, Yun San Chan, Benjamin Chen, Andy Chen, Afrin Chowdhury, Hong Sin Dai, Sage Divas, Anthony Dinicolo, Boyang Fan, Christopher Fontaine, Luke Gall, Mehul Gautam, Alexander Gatonia, Amanda Govet, Martin Alex Gradowski, Scott Green, Yanchi Gu, Anwood Harris, Slako Haji Savit, Jeffrey Howe, Ghazan Hijazi, Graham Holland, Shu Yang Ho, Clark Z, Christopher Hyun, Kim Ismailio, Bhutan Jarolahi, Fei Fan Jiang, Adawan Kalori, Amir Kasasian, Omar Cliff, Chris Korn, Matthew Lassam, Ho Chung Johnny Lung, Ko Lung, Eleanor Lee, Raymond Lee, Jason Lee, Rebecca Lin, Brian Long, Pavan Ludu, Mark Ma, Colin MacDonald, Alexander Manusiadis, Oshi Mathu, Aaron Paul McKinnon, Donkai Miao, Amin Moshkabadi, Andrew Ojin, Yu Pan, Charan Preet Pramar, Ivan Petro, Stoyan Petro, Thomas Piwachowski, Aldous Puyanfa, Jomini Pudel, Jeff Priest, Salma Rezazadeh, Sajib Saha, Ghazal Sare Soru, Jagdeep Sekon, Safaya Sheikh Holsamani, Joseph Shen, Amir Siddiqui, Sherman Siu, Spencer Steele, Alicia Su, Jung Hao Sun, KC, Irene Ton, Tahani Trigui, Mandan Memari, Alexis Wormadam, Vincent Won, Jun Fen Sian, Bill Su, Ryan Yasko, Jack San, Rule Son, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of General Studies in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Dong Hee An, Ho Ho Yung, Gong Dan Yudo, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence, Mr. Hong Kun Yu. Unfortunately, he is unable to be present today. We congratulate him on his outstanding achievement. I will now present the remaining graduates. Laura Anton Seku, Christopher Byrel, Sunny Baines, Mark Barlow, Katalin Bonchi, Verdan Budi Michij, Alexandru Bumbak, Ya Kun Kai, Ka Chun Chan, Zi Chen, Tian Yuan Chu, Benjamin Cribb, Carolina Cruz, Derek Fon, Jeffrey Geyer, Naveen Gida, Hui Gong, Wesley Harmon, Cody Hart, Chen Jun He, Nicole Ho, Billy Hon, David Hughes, Yoksan Jean, Samimi Kuo, Alex Lay, Sterling Hoeri, Andy James, Miao Kaneda, Alex Kwan, Henry Lamb, Stephen Lawton, Jovik Lee, Shiji Lee, Hope Lian, Jiang Sing Lian, Yemin Liang, C.G. Liao, David Liakut, Michael Lim, Ariel Lorenzo Luasas, Mark Louis, Jiming Ma, Angus MacDonald, Andrew MacLeod, Kevin Mann, Sean Mauser, Brian Moore, Boshra Nabe, Brandon Okert, Arashi Oji, Sunny Ju Park, Andrew Paul, Santiago Perez, Jordan Phillips, Robin Pun, Tim Chan, Fen Chin, Sejal Rathi, Rebecca Roinitz, Hua Rong, Ivan Sangala, Xian Shao, Yu Shen, Jasling Sin, Chi Sun, Thai Kwok Tran, Henry Tanuato, Randy Tarampi, Andy To, Jimmy Tran, Christopher Walters, Dingan Van, Shuyang Van, Sui Chi Van, Tin Fan Van, Yan Van, Yun Hai Van, Scott Williams, Andrew Won, Leo Won, Patrick Won, Willie Wong, Ryan Wood, Alex Wu, Ruo Bin Wu, Lee Wen Su, Bill Su, Yin Zhen Yan, Darius Yao, Gary Yao, Zhen Long Ye, Shao Qing Yong, Yilan Yuan, Yang Zan, Mo Zhu, Zisu,
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Dr. Claire Couples, will now announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in her faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honour of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Science. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence, Mr. Hui Li. Unfortunately, he is unable to be present today. We congratulate him on his outstanding achievement. I will now present the remaining graduates. Mira Abu Faraj, Armita Armadi, Michael Allen, Robert Allen, Homeya Amiran Gene, Parsian Askari, Leili Atashakari, Gary Atwal, Gagan Baines, Rhea Baines, Keith Baker, Graham Banero, Nicole Bannatyne, James Barnett, Marissa Baskin, Amrit Bath, Nicole Bidwell, Jacqueline Brown, Alyssa Buikena, Stephen Buttitude, Mark Burnham, Kerry Campbell, Thomas Canal, Alfredo Canas Fuentes, Tiffany Carlo, Harleen Chahal, Barry Chan, Janice Chan, Kelsey Chan, Kelvin Chan, Lauren Chan, Jen Chang, Yusong Chang, Rachel Charis, Amritdeep Singh Chawan, Bo Chen, Bowen Chen, Jeremy Chen, Carrie Jia Ching Chen, Yong Tao Chen, Charles Chiang, Donna Chiang, Kelvin Chiang, Ming Chur Chien, Adam Chin, Jacqueline Chiu, Edna Chong, Leon Chu, Justin Chow, Sabrina Chow, Robin Christian, Fergus Chui, Grace Chung, Rubia Chung, Razvan Kojukaru, Matthew Courtmanche, Ryan Crean, Caitlin Crisp, Megan Kirpin, Daniel Curtis, Liana Kutri, Athena Dan, Teresa Datolo, Ryan Daw, Joshua DeBeer, Brendan DePaulo, Devin Digzwan, Ivan Depeau, Michael Desrochers, Arshdeep Dillon, Prabhadeep Dillon, Ranveer Doot, Carmen Dudwal, Thomas Domingo, Jinran Dong, Lauren Eady, Rachel Eden, Brendan Engel, Melissa Angluan, Joel Epp, Chen Fan, Hongjun Fan, Li Yin Fan, Danielle Feinstein, Megan Ferreira, Christopher Finn, Christopher Fu, Ariel Frame, Mitchell Frank, Jingguan Fu, Oscar Fung, Philippe Gallant, Ivy Gao, Tanya Gavieras, Beini G, Wesley G, Alex Jean, Chloe Girac, Yalda Godratzadeh, Gerline Gill, Inderville Gill, Jasleen Gill, Yugdev Gill, Trevor Gill, Cole Godfrey, Robert Green, Anita Gruel, Olivia Gruel, Best Guo, Shamil Haji, Andrew Jisong Han, Torni Hassan Burnick, Jeremy Hansen, Mariam Hassan, Fei Chi Hee, Lida Helqvist, Susan Herdman, Milad Hedari, Kevin Hippolito, Connor Hoekstra, Sarah Hu, Elliot Hoyt, Kathy Huang, Keng Wei Huang, Jenna Hutchin, Chris Hudson, Sun Pil Huan, Rezwan Imtiaz, Qinghai Ip, Siafash Idzadi, Justin Jagor, Talia Yang, Monica Jaswal, Caitlin Jenkins, Danielle Jong, Anisha Jatnani, Jian Jia, Xiaopeng Jiang, Shi Jin, Farim Jivraj, Hee-Jin Jun, Katrina Juwano, Teranu Kamaya, Dave E. Cardos, Faranas Karimi, Richard Kaufelt, Nida Kazmi, Kane Keating, Brandy Kelly, Ashad Khan, Ramat Kanan, Bernard Kim, Washin Kim, Heather Klassen, Bernice Coe, Andrew Cockerjan, Yaroslav Kondryuk, Brandon Kong, Christine Conrad, Harpreet Kular, Karen Kuo, Andrew Lake, Ashley Lal, Marshall Law, Debbie Lee, Shenyang Li, Jian Li, Ryan Lee, Somin Lee, Larissa Leenstra, Lisa Liang, Martin Yingho Liang, Simeon Liang, Danielle Liu, Laura Liu, Dan Qing Li, Jing Li, Blaze Li, Zinan Li, Shi Yu Liao, Wan Huai Lim, Chen Ting Lin, Yen Shan Lin, Punkit Lit, David Liu, Robert Liu, Sybil Liu, Kevin Lorimer, Effort Liu, Lisa Lucarino, Albert Liu, Tammy Mack, Justine McCarrion, Kristen Madiak, Philip Magistral, John Ma, Christina Mai, Joshua Mamdani, Brooke Mandan, Chelsea Mandan, Chen Jiao Mao, Catherine Marshall, Ethan Martin, Marasimos Marcelos, Jaslyn Mawaha, Colin Massey, Craig Matthews, Laura MacArthur, Rosemary McCloskey, Cassandra McCormick, Jessica McDougall, Christina McKay, Jocelyn McKenzie, Hannah Madick, Hannah Mehlenbacher, Fabian Melili, Juan Mo, Zachary Monteith, Kira Morgan Fair, Sydney Morrison, Spencer Myrtle, Jason Naidu, Elaha Naseri Harandi, Calvin Carlock Ng, Anthony Lee Nguyen, Asha No, Alfonso Ocampo, James O, Fabian Olaru, Caitlin Olson, Katarzyna Olszewski, Keriman Oselmanoglu, Parneet Pada, Gabrielle Pang, Stephanie Patterson, Natasha Piskar, Cisaru Pereira, Diana Popa, Pooja Prakash, Amit Puni, Caitlin Purcell, Amrit Purawal, Mayinji Chu, Shadar Ramesh, Roberto Ramogida, Ashan Rashid, Janine Reed, Kevin Ray, Sandra Ray, Amber Richmond, Hina Rishi, Scott Robinson, Landon Roddick, Stephen Rudlang, William Ruth, Kimia Sabagan, Jasmeet Sagu, Robert Sam, Nicole Samu Heelan, Tyler Samuel, Kasha Sandhu, Manpreet Sandhu, Samrita Sandhu, Gangadeep Sangha, Damien Saramet Komsa, Savita Swaminathan, Nicole Shindelka, Annabella Scutaru, Brian Sikon, Connie Shao, Kritika Sharma, Dylan Shea, Tanessa Shears, Xiaoling Shen, Stuart Shepard, Yunyi Shi, Qinyan Shi, Zhu Zhao Shu, Gurnish Sidhu, Sarah Siebert, Fernando Siem, Stephen Sinclair, Deanna Sirotich, Maxwell Siu, Johanna Skukas, Scott Smale, Kelsey Snow, Kunnam So, Rajan Sohi, Corey Southam, Agata Sowinska, Nicole Stamnus, Eric Connor Stefanison, Christopher Steneker, Anika Stroman, Annabelle Sum, Cloud Sun, Lester Siong, Petra Safmari, Davina Tajeja, Lauren Tag, Jun Lang Tai, Sidra Tanvir, Kelvin Tay, Igor Terakina, Palwinder Tandi, Cristino Tiberio, Sandra Tom, Gary Tong, Colby Treliving, Linda Trin, Brenda Sang, Daryl Shi, Eric Chiang, Darius Sui, Kelly Tucker, Karen Tulloch, Kushpreet Tung, Stephanie Van Pelt, Sveta Venue Gopal, Aloysia Voldenokovic Slatan, Benny Y, Wesley Y, Rahihan Walji, Alison Weston, Martha Volkovsky, Jocelyn Walsh, Andrew Wan, Teresa Wan, Jiangbo Wang, Jingshu Wang, Yunju Wang, Sarah Warda, Karina Walkington, Alicia Wong, Amy Wong, Hazel Wong, Henry Wong, Kenny Wong, Sarah Wong, Melissa Woodward, Jack Wu, Hanlong Wu, Jane Wu, Jian Wu, Zhou Jia, Wenhajia, Haishanju, Jian Yangzhu, Nathan Yan, Heijing Yang, Andy Zhao, Katie Yaschuk, Ryan Yo, Tracy Yoon, James Young, Arash Y. Tirani, Shouwan Yu, Stephen Yu, Yuan Zhai, Chang Zhan, Xiu Zhang, Anna Zhao, Yali Zhen, and Yi Zhou.
Madam Chancellor, the Governor General's Gold Medal is awarded to the two top graduate students who are judged to have the most outstanding records in the graduating class. One of the 2014 recipients of the Governor General's Gold Medal for Graduate Studies is Dr. Faraz Hash, and I invite him to join me. Dr. Faraz Hash came to SFU from Iran in 2004 for his master's degree in computing and was promptly recruited to do his PhD as well. He was the main architect of a world-renowned genetic sequence mapping tool that has put him at the forefront of the big data revolution currently taking place in the biomedical sciences. His important research has also led to a postdoctoral appointment between SFU and the Vancouver Prostate Centre, where he's developing new computational tools to analyze prostate cancer sequencing data. He's also been collaborating with the School of Medicine at Indiana University, which is developing a pipeline to detect microinversions in breast cancer data. On behalf of SFU, we congratulate Dr. Hash on his outstanding achievements. And I'd like to invite Chancellor Carol Taylor to join me to present the Governor General's Gold Medal. Madam Chancellor, the Governor General's silver medals are awarded to two undergraduate students who are judged to have the most outstanding records in the graduating class. Both 2014 Governor General's silver medal recipients are here with us today. First, I would like to invite Ms. Christine Conrad to join me. Christine Conrad is graduating from the Department of Biological Sciences with a Bachelor of Science honors degree with a grade point average of 4.2. Straight A's is 4.0. In addition to maintaining a stellar academic record, Christine excelled in her semester abroad in Fiji, where she studied tropical marine ecology. She has already co-authored a peer-reviewed paper that was recently published. Her research interests, as well as her ability to question and explore complex ideas, will serve her well as she pursues graduate studies this fall. Christine manages to find time to have fun with fellow students as a founder and president of SFU's Quidditch team. Harry Potter fan, obviously. Clearly, this impressive student has a few things figured out, including how to balance work and play. I'd like to invite Chancellor Taylor to join me to present the Governor General's Silver Medal. Congratulations. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, the other 2014 recipient of the Governor General's Silver Medal is Ms. Danielle Jung. I invite her to join me on stage. Danielle Jung is graduating as the top student in the Department of Biomedical Physiology and Kinesiology with a Bachelor of Science honors degree. She achieved an impressive grade point average of 4.33, straight A pluses in upper division courses. Her goal is to become a medical missionary. Her voluntary work at a clinic in post-earthquake Haiti has inspired her to pursue medicine and assist others. Talk about an engaged student. Danielle is the recipient of an honorable mention from the Canadian Association for Cooperative Education Co-op Student of the Year Award for 2013 and an Undergraduate Student Research Award from the National Science and Engineering Research Council. She's awaiting entrance to either medical school or graduate studies at SFU, a step in her journey to realize her dream of providing medical care to those in developing countries. I'd like again to invite Chancellor Taylor to join me in presenting the Governor General's Silver Medal. Congratulations. I'll see you at dinner for this one. Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends and family to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of 2014. Now, let's not forget who helped to get you here. I'd like to ask the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, your friends, the faculty and staff, all of whom helped you to reach your goal. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the formal awarding of degrees on this wonderful morning. Some graduates who were recommended by the Senate for degrees today unfortunately were unable to be here with us, and their names were therefore not read out. But I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program. I have just a couple of thank yous. First of all, to all of you for being here and being so enthusiastic and making this such a great day, but also to the many volunteer staff and faculty members coordinated by Student Services and Ceremonies and Events offices. Honestly, without all of their hard work and organization, today would not work so well. And also to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their very special contribution to Convocation. Our pipe band will perform after the ceremony in Freedom Square, which is just behind the platform. So this does bring to a close the formal part of this morning's convocation, but you are all now invited to attend a reception in the James Douglas Room, again just behind us. May I ask you please to rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed.